Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, guys?
Okay, I
Can you hear
guess.
me now? Can you?
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I think, yep. Yes. Okay, guys, I really apologize for that because sometimes I have to use my computer to work and I have to do different settings for different phones. So sometimes that happens with me. Apologies for that. But it's always good to have some morning excitement. Okay, guys. So since everything is working now for everyone, we're gonna do our initial prayer again. We're gonna do something quick. Thank you guys again, and really apologies for that. So for everyone who feels comfortable, would like to ask you guys to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let's be thankful for the morning that we have here today. Let's be thankful for this wonderful weather that we have outside, for the lives and the opportunity to be here studying the Spirit's book and the gospel of our Master Jesus. I would like to ask guidance and support from the superior spirits in order to give a good talk to you guys, explaining about the Spirit's book and about our Master. Thank you. So be it. Okay, guys. So since it's happening now, it's working now. Today we're going to be talking, guys, about the reincarnation planning that the spirits they have to do in the spiritual world in order to reincarnate. A lot of people they believe that once we're going to reincarnate, it's something quite simple. At least some friends of mine they come to me and they ask me, Wanderley, how is the reincarnatory process works? Once you go in the spirit's book, it's very very complex. Once you go to Andrea Luiz's books, it's even more complex. So we understand that a life which comes to Earth is not just a matter of having a sexual intercourse, and then you have all the physical aspects. You know, when you have the oval which goes, and you have all that part which we learn in the chemistry class. I guess I hope I say chemistry or physics class. I don't remember what class we learned that. But despite all these natural facts, there is the process behind, the spiritual process behind. So it's not only a matter of having sex to give a life. Once you think about the sexual intercourse, it is to generate our physical body. But what goes through our physical body is what matters the most, which is the soul, and which is the preparation of that soul to reincarnate in a physical body and to come to Earth. We're going to be using here the Spirit's book, chapter 6, Spirited Life, Reincarnation Planning. That's going to be the main topic. For those who have studied this part of the book, please forgive me if I'm forgetting something, if I'm simplifying too much, but I put it in a way that it's going to be easier to explain, easier for myself also. So please forgive me if I forgot any detail that you may have in Kardec's book. So instead of talking a little bit about the reincarnation process, let's try to understand what happens to the soul between incarnations. So we are here now, we passed away, we die, doesn't matter the name. And what happens to our soul once we are in the spiritual world before reincarnating? The Spirit's book explains to us that we become a errant spirit. Errant spirit or errant spirit, I don't know what to say properly. It's a spirit which has no physical body, has only the spirit or the soul, which is in the spiritual world. So basically, once we are there, we are waiting to reincarnate again. Some people they want to reincarnate a bit faster. Some people they cannot reincarnate a bit fast. Some people they have to wait different times, different length of time. I'm gonna see that. But what we have to understand that according to Emmanuel, in the on the way of the light, a caminho da luz, there are more or less between 22 and 27 billion spirits which are spirits related to Earth. Now, at the moment, we have 7 billion spirits incarnated on Earth. That's the amount of spirits, that's the amount of people that we have. But Emmanuel explains to us that the number of spirits in the spiritual world is uh, 2 or 3 times bigger than this. So we are talking more or less, let's say, the maximum of 30 billion spirits, sorry, in the spiritual world. So it's a huge number. And only 1/3 of that is here incarnated on Earth. So there is no time, like the spirit explains to us that some spirits they can wait for between hours, and some other spirits they can wait up to thousands of years. Okay, there is no limit, there is no predetermined limits for the spirit to reincarnate. But sooner or later, the spirit must reincarnate. And why does the spirit must reincarnate? Someone may ask me. Because that's the only way which the spirit has to purify the actions of previous lives. So reincarnation is the only way for us here on Earth. I'm not talking about other happier globes where high spirits they live, but the process is the same according to the spirit's book. But here on Earth, for us, the only way for us to progress is throughout reincarnation. So reincarnation is a gift given by God for us to improve ourselves according to our own actions, our own free will. So it's not God who's gonna come to us once we pass away and gonna say, "Oh, my son, you were so nice. Now you can go to heaven. Now you're not gonna work anymore. Now you're not gonna have any kind of doubt in your life. Everything's gonna be nice. You're gonna be just having fun." That's not the heaven which the Spiritist book explains to us. Of course, there is no heaven. What I'm trying to say that once we pass the way, what is waiting for us in the other side is a consequence of the actions that we made here on Earth. Okay? Well, let me just see here. Okay, everything's working fine. Good. Let's keep going. So these transitional words, what are they exactly? Some people may ask, but there is no one answer for that reply, because that will all depend according to the spirit vibration, according to the spirit moral elevation. So they are basically houses where they are temporary places where the spirit stays while it has no physical body. It has to wait. So these places, most of the time, they are going to be close to our psychosphere around Earth. Sorry, we have the example of Nosular, for example, Astral City, that we talk about André Luiz, or we have also in the Memoirs of a Suicide, Memórias de um Suicida, but it's not a transitory word, which is, shall we say, Nosular is not a happy transitory word, but it's better than the lower zones, where the spirit of Camilo Castelo Branco, who is the main character of this book, he lives. He lives in a lower zone because he committed suicide. We're not going to be talking about suicide here today, but what I'm trying to say is that André Luiz committed certain actions which weren't the best, but it brought him to one place. Camilo Castelo Branco committed other actions which brought him to a different place. So these houses that we say here, temporary houses, they are not the same for each spirit. The same for Livia, for example, the wife of Emmanuel. Once she passes away, Emmanuel explains to us that because of her actions, the the spheres that she went are spheres that until today, that's according to Emmanuel now, until today, Emmanuel cannot stay 100%. So Emmanuel can go there, according to Chico Xavier, only once per week on Sundays, because his perispirit is not ready yet to live in that kind of spheres, because the place which Livia live, they are, shall we say, happy words. So André, even Emmanuel, the mentor of Chico Xavier, cannot stay there all the time because he's not ready yet to live in that kind of places. So depend on the spiritual, that depend on what you did here on earth, depend how you use your life, how you use your free will, it will compose your vibration. And your vibration is the current to the spiritual world. It's not if you are rich or if you're poor, if you're black, if you're white, if you believe in spiritism or not. if you're an atheist or not, if you like God or not. These things, they are not important. What is important is our actions. So our actions will create this vibration, will compose our perispirit. That's why Jesus said in the I forgot which part of the gospel, that whenever we are doing good to the others, it's for Him that we are doing. If you are doing a good to someone that you don't know, or someone that you have some kind of problems, you are doing good for Jesus. But this Jesus is metaphorical. What he's trying to say is, whenever you're doing good, whenever you are working with, you are committing good actions, you are doing good to the others and to yourself. And more you do of these good actions, more your perispirit will be, shall we say, lapidated, will be better composed. So what makes our vibration to elevate is not what we believe, and is what we do, is our actions. That's why, if you don't believe in Jesus, if you come here today for the first time watching our lives, and you don't believe in spiritism, you don't believe in Jesus, you don't believe in a life after death, that's okay. As long as in this life you are doing your best, you are always doing good, your vibration, your spirit will be becoming more purified. I don't know if does that make sense to you guys. If you guys have any questions, again, please let me know here. That's why in the spiritual world, the only currency is our vibration. That's it. And here we have André Luis explain to us a little bit. He goes a bit more technical about this in this book, Evolution in Two Words, which I really recommend everyone to read. He explains to us that superior spirits can plan their next life by themselves. The physical body they can choose, the powers they will have, and the kind of life they will possess. So basically, what André Luiz is saying to us: higher your vibration, once your moral evolution is higher, you are able to choose more. It's the same example as we can give as for a child. If your child, let's say, if you are not a child, if you have a teenager at home, okay, you're a parent of a teenager, and if you can see that your son, your daughter chooses well, let's say, doesn't really do anything stupid, or doesn't have any kind of bad tendencies regarding to actions, treats everyone nice, respects everyone. Once you say to that children, go and come back at 10, whatever, that person, oh, that your children always does that, you start to trust a bit more. More you trust in your children, more things will allow your children to do. It's the same in the opposite way. If you have a children 16 years old, and he always comes at home at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., he comes at home, he smells cigarette and drinking. But please, we are not saying that drinking and drinking or smoking is bad. We are talking about teenagers. For teenagers, we can all admit that's quite bad. But if you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. Okay, but let's talk about teenagers or children. So if you start to see these actions on your children, or if you start to see that whenever you're not around them, they are treating the others without respect, they are calling names to their colleagues who are poorly than them, who don't have the same wealth which they have, you start to pay attention. If you're a good parent, shall we say, or a smart parent, you see, okay, I can see that my children has this kind of vice. What should I do? You can try to correct, but at the same time, you're gonna give to the children less free will to work. So you're gonna go and say you have to do this and that. You're gonna be looking after the children a bit more, in a more restricted way. That's what the André Luiz explains to us. Higher the spirit, more he can choose. But for us here, the let's say the so-called low spirits, which is most of humanity. When I mean low spirits, I'm not saying bad spirits. First, because according to the spirits book, there is no such thing, bad spirits. There are spirits who are committing more errors because they have less knowledge, or they still a bit rebel. but there is not a creation of one bad spirit in the universe. All spirits, they are created simple and ignorant, but they are created to do good, not to do bad. We do bad because of our actions. Okay, so most of humanity get into symbiosis or in connection with spirits that are incarnated in female body, and according to their vibration and spiritual relationship, then their next existence will be determined. Okay, when I read this, I had, as I was reading Portuguese, then have to translate. It's quite difficult. But what André Luiz is saying to us that if you are not a high evolved spirit, if you are not able to choose your parents, your physical body, the life that you're gonna have, others they will have to choose for you. So André Luiz explains to us that in this book that there are our mentors, they help us to choose. What I'm trying to say is this: in the level that we are now, close to in the planetary transition, we are not. I wouldn't say that we are not even in the middle. We are getting to the middle of the planetary transition. We are spirits with who can choose the next reincarnation, not fully, but a little bit. What I'm trying to say to us here is there is no spirit, there is no new spirits reincarnated on Earth nowadays, according to Chico Xavier and the Spirit's book, because Earth has a vibration, has a kind of the psychosphere of Earth has a vibration, and this vibration, which is according to us, because it's not on the contrary. Uh, Sometimes we believe that Earth has a vibration, and this vibration will determine our vibration. It's not true, it's the opposite. Our vibration will determine the vibration of Earth. Once Earth was chosen to us, to humans, to habitate here, 40, 50, 100,000 years ago, why was Earth chosen to us? Because Earth, once you think about vibration, was in a, let's say, in a certain level of vibration which was compatible with our vibration. So we are placed here. Then our actions starts to started to improve or to make even worse the vibration of Earth. So the Spirit's books explain to us that a globe, a planet, a place that we live depends on our vibration and not the opposite. Okay, so it's not Earth which is changing the vibration, which is changing the planet of regeneration. It's us. We are changing. The spirits are changing. But again, once we say that most of humanity, we are not choosing proper, we cannot choose 100%. We have our mentors, as I was saying, who helps us to choose. And in this case, it's much more according to the connection, the symbiosis, and the spiritual connection which that spirit has with that physical body. Let me try to simplify because maybe I'm trying to complicate. When there is the sexual action, the sexual intercourse is happening there, once the generation of that physical body uh, starts to happen, there is a planning beforehand. André Luiz explains to us that a mother, before being a mother, a lot of times she goes in the spiritual world in dreaming. Okay, so she goes to sleep, that person, and she starts to dream. And sometimes she meets in her dream the spirit that she's gonna be mother of. So she meets her future children in the spiritual world a lot of times. Same for the father. And André Luiz explains to us that there are cases that when the mom goes, in sleeping in the spiritual world to see who's gonna be her son, she's scared because she realizes that that spirit which is about to reincarnate from her wound, in her physical body that she's about to bring life to earth, it's an enemy from a previous life. Maybe it's a man who committed rape against her. Maybe it's a man who killed her entire family in a previous life in the conditions that you had in the past, And she gets a bit scared and she said, but I don't want to have that children. And that conversation, that kind of agreement happens for a good while, depending on the case, until in a lot of cases The mother said, okay, I'm gonna give a chance to this spirit. He's gonna come to be born in my family. So I'm gonna be his mother. So Andre Luiz explains to us that the process of reincarnation is a very deep, very deep and complex process. And he explains to us also that, for example, here, let me see, the physical body and general conditions will be according to the necessities of evolution of that spirit, merits and debts in with the law of action and reaction. What André Luiz is trying to say that once this agreement starts to happen with that parent, that mom or that father, that couple, which will be the parents of that spirit, they're gonna have to have a different agreement. If they accept that that spirit will come in their family, and then the spirit coordinators of the reincarnatory process, they're gonna say, okay, what's the best physical body and conditions to that spirit to be born? What I'm trying to say, guys, it's that once someone comes with a mental problem, or once someone comes with a physical condition, missing a leg or a problem in her leg or whatever, or a problem in her brain, in its brain, it's not something just sorry, which it's not about only genetics or about a problem that the mom may had while she was carrying that child, because all these conditions, they are kind of agreed before the spiritual world. What I'm trying to say is this: imagine, let's say, in the case of Mozart, okay, once he came to reincarnate on Earth, his mission was to deal with music, to bring, let's say, the spiritual music to Earth, to start to bring music to Earth for us to leave that animality, that conditions that we had as a warriors for so many centuries, that we were just thinking about wars, about money, about wealth in general, about sexual abuse and things like this. He tried to bring music to us to make our spirits to elevate. So what happened in the case of Mozart? I'm not here a scientist, guys. Please forgive me if I say anything here which is not really according to science, but that's more or less what I understood from their Louis' work and the Spirits book. But what the spirits they do? Let's say if this part of my brain is related to music. I know there is a specific part for music, but I don't know which part it is. But let's say that's the part on my brain which music will be, the ability of playing music would be more used. Okay, that's the part of the brain. What the spirits they do in the spiritual world, they're gonna make that part of Mozart's brain, let's say, a bit bigger or a bit more vibrant. Why? Because that spirit has already all the knowledge regarding to music. That spirit conquered already the talents of music in previous reincarnations in the spiritual world also. What that spirit has to, what the engineers of a physical body must do, they're gonna have to give to Mozart a body with good hands, because he's gonna play piano, he's gonna play music, to be capable to pursue his spiritual mission. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. So the physical body that we are born is according to our spiritual evolution. So if I have a in my spiritual plan that I'm gonna be an athlete, doesn't matter what I'm gonna be practicing, which kind of sports I'm gonna be practicing. The spiritual engineers, they're gonna give to me a body which is more related to sports condition. The same happened with mediumship. Okay, again, mediumship according to Allan Kardec, that's not according to spiritism, guys. It's according to the spirits. Okay, mediumship is a human faculty. So each one of us we have mediumship. Some people they have higher levels of mediumship than the other. What does that mean? That mediumship, according to Andre Luis, there are some parts of our brain which they are more vibrant, where they use. And now I can say, which I believe it's the cortex, which is the front, if I'm not mistaken, and the pineal gland also, which is more or less here. So the pineal gland and the cortex front are used a lot in mediumship phenomena. So a medium such as Chico Xavier probably had these parts of his brain very vibrant. Why? Because in the spiritual world, Chico Xavier, according to his merits and according to what he did in the past, he had the plan of working this life with mediumship. So what has to be given to Chico Xavier? A very good a brain which the mediumship is going to be able to work in good conditions. So with the pineal gland and the frontal cortex working 100%. But Chico Xavier wasn't an athlete. He didn't have like he wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. Why? Because in his spiritual planning, that wasn't in its plan. What I'm trying to say, guys, that in the spiritual world, each one of us, 7 point whatever billions that we have here on Earth, each reincarnation is well planned. Do not believe that it's just go there, a couple have sex, I'm born, and that's it. No, there is a huge plan in the spiritual world. So for the life that you're gonna be having here in this planet, and also for the physical body which will carry your soul for a next number of years or even hours. Yes, because in the spirit's book, uh, Kardec explains to us, André Luiz explains that also, that there are spirits which they are determined to come here to earth to live a few hours and then they go back to the spiritual world. And why such spirits? Why some children they are born in a such young age? Why some babies they are born even after they start to breathe only for a few minutes, a few moments? And the spirit explains to us that is according to that spirit plan for its life. In some cases, could be a spirit which only needed that a few hours or few moments to complete a reincarnation that maybe he didn't complete properly in the previous one, or maybe that spirit is born in that situation to the parents to maybe to see life in a different way. I know friends of mine who lost their children when in the pregnancy, or their wives had a natural abortion. Once he lost, a friend of mine in particular, once he lost his son, he started to see life in a different way. He starts to appreciate more life. I know there are some cases also of parents which they start to complain, they start to hate God. Why God took my children away in a such young age? Why does that happen with me? And the spirits explain to us that everything which is happening, it's according to, it's always in good for the evolution of that spirit and for that spirits which are incarnated around us. Because sometimes a young babe comes like this, only stays with a parents for 1 year or 2 years, and that babe dies. And then someone asks, what did that spirit do to die in so young age? Maybe he didn't do anything, but maybe he was a spirit which was born in that family to to set a lesson for his parents, as I was saying. So these conditions they happen quite a lot. So all these choices are made before, but they are made before, but at the same time, it's not a destiny, because the spirits explain to us that we choose the kind of life that we're gonna be living, the kind of trials we're gonna be facing, but not the entire life, because that will depend upon our free will in this life. So let's say I come here, I my spiritual plan was to be born to be a doctor, but by any chance, to be a doctor to help, sick people. But by any chance, when I'm 20, I decided to study, I don't know, poetry, and then I start to write poems, and I want to write a book. These things they can happen sometimes because it depends on our free will. But a lot of times, and Luis explains to us that if your plan in the spiritual world was a plan which was going to help a lot of people, which was going to affect a lot of people, life will try to find ways to bring you back to that path. Okay, so if you're gonna be a doctor, perhaps you're gonna be helping a lot of people. You wanna write poems, that's fine. But if you leave your doctorship behind, if you don't exercise your profession of being a doctor, if that's going to be affecting many people, the spirit world always gonna try to find ways to say, hey, come on, into dreams, into situations and things like this. But still, you have the free will to do anything you want, so you can change that. And also, we have to understand that when the spirit returns to the spiritual world, again, going back to the vibration, to the perispirit, uh, the spiritual world will possess the same vices and qualities that it had. Why I'm coming to this point here now, which is a bit far from what I was saying, because sometimes once someone passes away, we think that that person is gonna be a god, is gonna be it's gonna be an angel in the spiritual world, and that person won't be an angel if that person wasn't an angel here. Let's give an example. You love eating chocolate. I always say chocolate. I don't know why, but you love eating chocolate. You love eating whatever, pastel, pastry, whatever. Just because you're gonna go to a spa, does that mean that you're gonna be a health person just because you came into a spa to try to make a diet? I'm not saying that eat chocolate is bad, guys. Please don't get me wrong. I'm saying that I'm just give an example. But no, it doesn't make you to become a fit person if you go, okay, let's change the example. If you eat, if you love eating hamburgers, if you love eating McDonald's, because you're gonna go to the gym, first day in the gym, are you gonna be an athlete? No. All these conditions which the spirit brings to the spiritual world are the same which it had on earth. Everything will be based upon its moral elevation. So if on earth you are a spirit who are doing good to the others, who are like acting in charity, you are being a nice person at your home, with your parents, with your boss, with your flatmates, whatever. Once you go to the spiritual world, you're going to still be carrying that kind of actions. The same opposite for occurs for inferior spirits also. It means most of us, because most of us are inferior spirits. I don't know if you guys are watching me here now. If you guys thought that you were an elevated spirit, you were an angel. If you guys thought you were an angel, terrible sorry, but you are not. We are not. Most of us here, according to the Spirit's book, we are still inferior spirits, but trying to progress, which is okay. So the same happens with inferior spirits, because once they go to the spiritual world, they have more access to their vices if they choose to. What am I trying to say? For example, André Luiz explained to us that once someone enjoys taking drugs and things like this, and again, we are not here to judge. Do whatever you want, it's your life. But when that person likes taking drugs, doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal, there are spirits which who are connected with that person. So once you are taking drugs, that spirits they want to feel. But how come they can feel drugs or they can feel alcohol or smoking? No, they cannot feel, but they feel more or less. André Luiz explains that it's in the air around that person, that they feel your spirit. So they start to want to take your energies. That once you are drinking or taking drugs, whatever, they start to feel that, and it's not feel 100%, but they feel more or less an air with is composed with that substance that the spirit used to like on earth. I hope that makes sense, but André Luiz explained in a very technical way, which is quite hard to come here and translate into English. But let's see how we are here. So we have a question here from Adriana Mumari. Perdemos a comunicação apenas. I think Adriana, she's asking if we lose the communication or that's only with her. I don't know if she's talking about communication with the spiritual world, but if it is, that's the question, Adriana. Yes. According to the Spirit's book, we always forget what happened in the previous lives, and we all lose the communication with the spirits. If you are talking, Adriana, about a communication regarding to a mediumship, uh, let me put it this way. And please, if I'm not understanding your question, no, I'm going to try to. If it's regarding to mediumship, a lot of people, according to Andre Luis, and Emmanuel explains that to us also. Let's say if you are a medium and you are exercising your mediumship faculty, uh, that mediumship that you have, depend on what you are doing, it may get better, or it may get weaker, and you may even lose it. How can it get better, a mediumship per se? Once you are connecting with good spirits. And how do you connect with good spirits, you may ask me? Doing good actions, elevating your thoughts, thinking about good things, doing things on your free time where no one is seeing you. When I mean no one, I mean no one. Doing things that you are proud of. Because sometimes here we come here, we do a live for the spirit center. We go at work, we say that we are good in front of people. We pretend we are something, but on our internal selves, where no one can see us, we are a bit different because we are not ready to admit yet that we still have that vices, which is okay. And if you have that vices, but you still kind of feeding that vices and you don't care, André Luiz explains to us that a medium can lose its mediumship. I don't know if, oh, okay. She's talking about audio. I'm sorry, guys. I thought she was asking about completely something completely different. But I hope that what I said make any sense. But are you guys losing the audio? Because here I'm hearing properly. Maybe it's your internet, Adriana. I'm not sure. Okay, I completely got the wrong question. The wrong. I completely understood wrong the question. But again, what I was saying comes back to what we are saying here now. It comes back to the moral elevation in the case of mediumship. Okay. So before this part I said already. So before we are taking a new corporeal existence, so before we are taking a physical body, the spirits choose the kind of trial that we're going to be having. But this choice always will depend upon our free will. So the evolution of the spirit here is the main key. So maybe this topic which I'm talking here today supposed to be not about the reincarnatory plan, but much more about free will. What I'm trying to say that the reincarnatory plan, what happens with us before we reincarnate and after we die, because that's where I want to make the connection. It's all depends upon our choices, our actions, our free will. So if someone comes to me, because I have this question all the time, Wanderley, where am I going when I'm passed away, when I die? And I say to the person, you go at whatever place you want, whatever place you chose. No, but I'm not choosing. You are choosing. You are choosing where you're going to be going after. What I'm trying to say is we are choosing because of our actions. We are not saying that I'm choosing to go to North Solar, I'm choosing to go to Jupiter, I'm choosing to go to Orion. No, forget about these things. But we're gonna go to the place that our moral elevation is more connected with our actions. The same is Vanille, where I was in the previous reincarnation, what have I done? I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a mirror here. Oops. Okay, I have a mirror beside me. So if next time you guys want to know where do you guys live in the previous life, it's quite simple. Look at the mirror, see your actions, see what you are doing most of the time. Try to analyze that thoughts that you have when no one is watching you. Try to see that, try to understand that persistent thoughts that you have. Then you will understand not in the country that you lived before, not in the age that you lived before, in the time that you lived, but more or less which kind of spirit were you. So if you are someone who in this life here always give importance to the material things, money is everything, to possess is everything, You always want the best, you always want the latest iPhone, which is okay, but what I'm trying to say is, if you are someone who is always connected with this necessity of having, maybe you are someone who in a previous life had a problem with uh, material stuff, have a problem with possession. So you have to analyze your thoughts. If you are someone who is always having thoughts about going crazy 100%, doesn't matter if it's with drugs, with these kind of sensations. Perhaps you are someone in a previous life who used who your sensations, that you lived in a way that wasn't so responsible. So sometimes we're going to be able to see more or less what we were in the previous life. And everything is turning around to one thing, to free will, to action and reaction. What do you do? I have here a question. Uh, that's a very nice question here. Susana Ferreira, good morning. Susana, thanks for the question. There is people that are afraid of death. This is connected with previous life. It can be, but think like this: to have fear of death, it's a natural reaction of us. Okay, so if you are swimming and if you don't know how to swim, and if you're in a really deep place, you're gonna fear your life. You're gonna fear death. You're gonna fear for your life. So fear of death, it's natural. Once you have a certain fear of in a very specific way, perhaps there is a movie called what's the name of the movie called? I forgot. Oh God, it's not a movie about. It's not a spirited move. I'm gonna try to remember the name here. I'm gonna give to you guys the name. Um, but it's a movie which talks about reincarnation in a more scientific way. Through an eyes of a believer of reincarn, not a believer, someone who is having a doctor, basically a scientist, who starts to study reincarnation, but in a scientific way. And there is one time in this movie that someone passes away, and that person is really afraid of elevators because she passed away. That girl in the movie in an elevator. An elevator destroyed her body in a previous life. So whenever time she was afraid, she was going close to an elevator. She was really afraid, really, really, really afraid. So yes, Susanna, in some cases that can be the case. Or some people who are afraid of the sea, they get close to the sea, they get in panic, they go nuts. It's not a normal fear. So in this case, yes, it can be a sign, a memory which that spirit is carrying. The same happens once you get close to someone, because remember, the world that we are living in is a world of vibration, and vibrations, they can be equal or they can be unequal. They're not similar. Once you get a good vibration with good vibration, once they close to each other, they create some. It's like this. If I start doing this sound, they are just sound of a pen and a blade. But if you get two uh, pieces of instrument for someone who knows how to play, once you do that, the same movement, it may create a good sound because of the vibration. And when I mean vibration, the metal, the piece of wood, whatever, but everything is made of atoms. So once a vibration is created and it's a good vibration, it can create something good. The same happens in the opposite way. There is a guy, a Japanese man. I'm gonna. That wasn't about the topic, but if I remember, I'm gonna post here later on. He made a study, this scientist, with the sound of water. So what he did basically, he starts to have drops of water getting to a really cold place that was in a laboratory. Whenever that drop of water hit that cold surface, there was some music behind. So once it heated, it created a shape, a form. Once it was, I think, was songs of Mozart. Once there was Ave Maria playing in the back, or there was the sound of trees. It created a nice shape. but sometimes they put the name of Adolf Hitler, they put the name of Mussolini, I don't remember. Bad sounds, it created a strange and bad, ugly shape, shall we say. Why I'm saying this? The same happens with us. Once you get to someone that we had a problem in the previous reincarnation, but when I mean a problem, I'm talking about something really, really deep. Maybe someone who cut your throat, whatever, killed your family. You have that kind of, I don't like that person. And maybe sometimes you have even that fear of that person, that fear that you cannot explain. But I hope I was able to explain, Suzanne. And Adriana said here, it was good explanation anyway. How many kept following? How many of us? Suzanne is asking here. Okay, she's saying that it was good explanation anyway. Thanks, Susanna. Adriana, sorry. Following, how many of us are successful in our incarnation? Ooh, there is no number for that. And if anyone says to you a number, please don't believe in that person. There is no certain number for that. But what there is the mercy. Let's put the word mercy, mercy of God. What do I mean by mercy of God? God gives to us how many incarnations we need. It's up to us. So once we start to improve, we start to choose better, we start to use our free will, we start to choose better for the next reincarnation, correct? Once we do this, we're gonna succeed more. Now, in the stage that we are now, Adriana, according to Allan Kardec, the spirits they ask Allan Kardec asks the spirits, is it enough not only to do evil in the world that we live in order to achieve, heaven? Basically, what he's trying to say: if you are here on earth in this incarnation, you don't do anything good, you just stay there and you don't do any harm to anyone, is it enough for you to progress? And the spirit says, no. Each one of us here now reincarnated on earth, we are in a level of maturity that each one of us must do the best we can with all our strength and goodness in order to help ourselves and the others. So we are in a stage that, to be honest, Adriana, we're not, more than likely, we're not going to fail 100%. There are some spirits in which they fail 100%. Yes, there are. But again, don't think about this, about the number, how many succeed, how many don't succeed. I'd say that it's better to think like this. What can I do in order to myself to succeed? Of course, I'm not saying that you don't care about the others, but you have to first to work on yourself. You have to be good to yourself. Then this goodness starts to spread. But I don't know the numbers, Adriana. So if I say to you a number would be a lie. I never heard of André Luis saying a number or Chico Xavier. But since we are going to the world of regeneration, and what is the world of regeneration? Once we active it in full, because as I said, we are more or less in the middle. We are not in the all way up yet. According to the Spirit's book, we're gonna have not as we had before in the world of atonement and expiation, where we have more evil than good. Now we're gonna have evil and good more or less the same, and more we go through in the regeneration world, we're gonna have more goods. Once we pass to regeneration world, we go to, I think it's happy. No, happy is there is one to a happy world. I think that's the translation which you have in the Spirit's book. Then we're gonna have only a little bit of evil and let's say 80% of good. So in the stage that we are here now, going to regeneration, I believe most of the spirits they're not failing 100%. That's what I can say for you for sure. Here in the question 259, because we don't have much time now, the spirits book says to us that the Kardec asks the spirit, if the spirit has the choice of the kind of trials which we will undergo, does it fall that all tribulations and experience on earth, unearthly life, have been foreseen and chosen by us? And that I said before, it's not correct to say that everything that we are living now, it was a choice of a previous reincarnation, but much more the actions of our free will. So I chose something in my previous life to live in this life. Depending on what I did, I can change everything. So they say to us that we have chosen the kind of trial which we are subjected to. The details of these trials, they are consequence of the general situation which we have chosen and after the result of our own actions. So there is no such thing as destiny. The only destiny that spirits believe is that each one of us, including the worst person ever lived on earth, even that person will achieve um, a level of a pure heart, will become an angel in some other place. But each one of us, we will progress sooner or later. Some spirits they progress faster, some spirits they progress a bit slower. And here, our free will is limited to our moral knowledge and our intellectual knowledge. That's what I was saying. So more you know, better you choose. That's something that you have to understand. That also, that we think I have the free will to go to the moon. I'm going to become an astronaut tomorrow. Can I do it? You can try, but come on, 36. Do I have any chance to become an astronaut in the next what 5 years? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be the destroyer of our dreams here, but I'm trying to use numbers here. Okay, I'm trying to use probability. So the probability is that I don't have the chance anymore to be an astronaut, you know, in this life. So the free will which I have of my moral knowledge and my intellectual knowledge will help me to make better decisions. But have all this knowledge, it's up to me. How much have I constructed before? How much effort have I give to my experience? How much effort have I give to the relationships which I have? When I mean effort, I mean like, did I treat the others good as I wanted the others to treat me good also? Have I been a nice person with someone who I live with? Have I treated each a stranger in the same way which I would like to be treated? So all these things makes our vibration to elevate. And here, because we don't have much time, uh, we have a famous phrase of Paul of Tarsus, which is I admire quite a lot, that he says, "I have the right to do anything. I have the right to do anything." You say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. What Paul is trying to say, that we can do anything we want to do it. But the life that we are living here now, it gives to us the challenge of a human life, of having a physical life. So we can live in any way that we want. If I want to stop this life here now and go and get drunk, I'm not getting against alcohol or anything, guys, but just an example. But if I want to stop this life here now, go and get drunk, go and do anything stupid thing, go and read a book, go and watch Netflix until tomorrow morning, it's up to me. I have the freedom to do this. You guys have the freedom to do this. If you guys are in a difficult situation, but you guys still want to blame the others, it's up to you also. But what I think it's nice about Paul here, that he says to us that I will not be mastered by anything. So it doesn't matter which situation I'm in, doesn't matter which conditions I'm living in, I'm always gonna follow my principles. I always gonna be acting in the best way I can. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be failing, because we're gonna be failing every single day in our lives. But at least we are failing, try to reach the best. The problem is, once we are failing and we don't care, then we start to use our free will in a bad way. Then where you go after you pass the way, consequently it's gonna be bad. Then the place that you come before your incarnation, consequently probably was bad also. If you are not able to choose, if you are not able to take responsibility for our lives, we're not gonna be able to do much. So here I leave Paul in the end, because Paul was the one who took decisions. He took the correct decisions, having a very difficult time. So Paul was the one who said, "Okay, I don't want to live. I don't want to live this life which I have without doing my best." And he did his best according to his conditions, and he suffered quite a lot. If Paul himself suffered quite a lot, he was beside Mary, he was beside the apostles, he saw according to the Bible, he had a vision of Jesus. So if a spirit like this suffered quite a lot while he was doing good things, imagine ourselves. That's the biggest mistake that we can commit. We think, oh, I'm doing good. Why am I suffering? It's all for our progression. It's all in the purpose of making this life a better, to get better results of this life. I think I'm gonna. Do you guys have any questions? I think I spoke too much. I never did so much like this. I think today I'll, I didn't stop. But that's the message which I want to leave, guys, here for you guys. Try to use your free will in the best way possible, and remember, where you go, where you come from, depends upon your free will. But where you're gonna go, you can change. Your past you cannot change anymore, so it doesn't matter. But what you're gonna do next, in this you can interfere. This you can change. So why not taking the best choices possible in order uh, to find better results, shall we say, in the spiritual world for us, and not only spiritual world here, doing good today for tomorrow to become better. Doing good today to someone that you have a problem in order to perhaps to get something nice from that person. What I mean get is to be receiving, um, to improve your relationship with that person. Okay, guys, we have to finish here today. So I think I spoke quite a lot. Since we don't have any more questions, and again, guys, sorry for the sound problem that we have earlier on. That took some time of us, but as I said, it's always good to start with some excitement in the morning. So I'm gonna close now, guys, asking if you guys want to close your eyes for it to do in order to us to do our final prayer. Yes, Tanya. Matsuru Emoto. Thank you very much, Tanya. I love when Tanya is behind because she has all the answers. Yes, Matsuru Emoto. He's the Japanese scientist who did this experiment with drops of water. I recommend you guys to go on the web, take Matsuru Emoto experiment with water. I think water drops or ice and water, something like this, and you guys will see how vibration works, and if vibration works like this, imagine regarding to our brains, to our thoughts. I always say before we close, guys, if Google, if our mobile phone knows everything that we do, guys, and where we are, imagine the spirits. Yes. But how do they know? Because we keep giving to them bread crumbles, shall we say, like a John and Mary, João and Maria. We keep throwing bread crumbles to them. What are the bread crumbles? Our thoughts. So we keep connecting with them. Once you connect with them, they come to you. They're not bad. You are feeding them. So they come to you. They come close to us, guys. But we're gonna close, guys, now. So I'm gonna ask everyone who feels comfortable to take a deep breath. I'd like to thank God for the opportunity to be here today talking about spiritism. To me, it's always a pleasure and it's always beneficial to me. That's why I enjoy doing that so much. Also, I'd like to thank the Spirited Society of Ireland, who have been giving me for more than 80 years this gift of being part of this, of spreading Spiritism in Ireland, being able to give these talks where I commit so many mistakes, where sometimes not because I want, I may pass the wrong information, but still, I'm very thankful because to me it's an opportunity. So let's be thankful, guys, for the opportunities that we have and we take for granted. Let's be thankful for the opportunity for those fellow Brazilian friends who are here in Ireland learning English, for those Irish people who are here in Ireland now, living a quite good life where COVID-19 has been taken away almost entirely. Let's not take for granted all these small things that we are living right now. Let's be thankful for everything that we have, for the roof that we have above our heads. Doesn't matter if it is a penthouse or if you are sharing a bed now in Dublin while you are learning your English. Doesn't matter if you are renting a house or if you are paying your mortgage. Doesn't matter if you have a bicycle or a really nice car. Doesn't matter if you are eating only bread and butter or if you are eating the nicest food. Let's be thankful and let's always remember that God and the good spirits they only give to us what we need in order to progress. But we always can search for better things in life. Let's be thankful for this opportunity. Thank God and so be it. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Um, Elizabeth from Brazil. I have so many people here: Adriana, Susana, Roberta. We have Daniela Paixão, Tanya Moore, who always helps us, Patricia, Cássia, Camila, Alex. We have here so many people, guys. So if I forgot someone, Samantha, Gabriela, guys, thanks for being here with us today. So see you on Tuesday, okay, at 7:15. And also, guys, for those who are interested in studying the Spirits book, we are having on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock the Spirits books study. If anyone wants to join the group, you guys will have to send an email to spiritismisland@gmail.com and write in the title that you are interested in enjoying the studies. And Tanya and Nate, they will talk to you. They're gonna try to arrange because it's done by Zoom because we don't have the normal meetings as we had before because of COVID-19. So anyone who wants to study Spiritism, please send an email to us or send a message to us on Facebook and we're gonna try to reply as soon as possible to give the details about the Zoom meeting, which happens on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And also, guys, we know that COVID-19 is going away more or less here in Ireland. The restrictions they start to loosen up a little bit. We can go outside and things like this. But just to let you know, guys, we're not gonna have any physical meeting as we have did before in the Lantern Center. We don't have any date yet, but I honestly believe that until at least end of August or end of September, we're not gonna have anything, or even October or November. Okay, that can be extended, or that can be we can start doing meetings as earlier as what we think. But we don't know the date. So once we have a date, we will be posting on Facebook about this about once we're gonna be able to open, but we don't have a date yet. And guys, please forgive us. It's not because we don't want; it's because of the COVID-19. The place that we do the meet is the Lantern Centers. There is a lot of elderly people, so there is no point of having a meeting with 15 people because we're gonna have to be having social distance there in order to be safe to each one of us. So there is no point of doing this. And we honestly believe that these lives they are working quite well for everyone who wants to join and study. So again, it depends on our free will to come here and to join. I'm not saying that we have to come here every meeting, but if you guys still want to study Spiritism, there are places. Why I'm saying this? Because some people they might say to us that there are no place to study, and there is. We are meeting now 3 times per week: Tuesday 7:15, Thursday 7:15, Sunday 11:15, and now we are having the studies. Thanks, Susanna, for posting the email here on the Facebook page, on the Facebook details. Now we have 4 activities, 4 activities. So we have plenty of activity for anyone who wants to study and to join us. So if you guys want to join us, guys, you are more than welcome. And if you guys have any questions about the talk today or anything, please send an email to us or send a message to us on Facebook. Guys, enjoy the sun. I'm gonna go to do enjoy my day also. I'm off. Thank God. Yes. See you guys. Bye bye. Okay.